gotta work out. You gotta stay in shape, man. You see, I haven't worked out in like 2 days. 2 days don't do nothing. You don't put on no pounds because you didn't work out in 2 days. You know. Leaving some food for the birds. Birds, they like chips. But ever you keep pressing it across the finish line. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever you doing, bro, in life, don't quit. I made that mistake of quitting before, and I could have did so much. I could have did so much, man. I ended up quitting because, you know, I thought it was the best thing to do. I could have been a millionaire by now, man. When I was doing music and shit, I could have been a millionaire.
Ready?
Yeah, man.
Anything?
That's it.
You got here is one, huh? Mango.
Yep.
Okay. 322.
It's cheaper over here too. Over
Three
there.
always cheaper.
Yeah.
A lot of people say 52.
They got $4 over.
Why you go there? You have extra money?
I'm
to
not
spend
going there. I'm not going there ever again in life.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, money. Some of it. How much? 7 cents?
Yeah. Yeah.
Times 30, 21. Times here, you save 300 over here. You come over here.
Yeah.
$300 a year, not enough.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, never give up, man. Whatever you doing, man, in life, never give up. Never give up. We gotta work out. Even though I didn't get much sleep last night, for some reason I got up. You know what I'm saying? I like the attention that young females give me, man. That's why I work out. That's why I keep working out. That motivates me to work out even more. There's this cute little girl in there, man. She kind of short though. She's about 5'1", I think. she taller than Shorty Pants, but she got a nice eye area, man. And I got a nice eye area. You feel what I'm saying? You know, because Hellcat got hooded eyes. You feel what I'm saying? I got hooded hunter eyes. And women can see that. You know, they see you got a nice eye area and they want to have babies with that. Oh, he got a nice eyes. I can give my babies those type of eyes. Because if me and her have a baby, that's gonna be a beautiful baby. You feel what I'm saying? It won't be very tall though, because she's 5'1". Yeah, about 5'1", 5'2", somewhere around there. She's not 5 foot because Shorty Pants, she 5 foot, and this chick right here is a bit taller than her. But she's so goddamn short, I'll be like, God damn, she got to be at least 5'6". You know what I'm saying? 3 inches below me. You know, for me to be having babies with her, man. You know, the Shorty Pants they be cute and stuff, man. But you gotta understand, man. Short kids, you don't want short kids, man. That's why you say you get your bag, man. You can have. You know, you can have kids that are taller, man. You know, you don't want no short kids. You know how it is in the dating scene for short men. Don't do your kids like that. Don't do your son like that. Because he will be struggling. Unless you're rich. And then you good, man. It doesn't matter. You know. My legs. I gotta drink water and stuff, man. They got kids out there playing, what's that, like a preschool or something. And one day I want to have kids. Not right now, man. Not while I'm in the struggle. But like I said, man, if you got any type of goal in life, bro, never ever quit. You know what I'm saying? Even if there's no sign of success, keep on going until you achieve that goal, man. When I look at some of these celebrities, man, all the struggling they got, I mean, all the struggle that they did to like get into the position that they in right now, because they, you know, they kept going, man. They never quit. You know, a lot of us, we give up because we don't see no sign of success or something like that, and we just say, fuck it, it's not for me. But I'm like, why would you quit when the reward is so goddamn great? You feel what I'm saying? Like, we trying to get out of the struggle, man, however long it takes. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta get my pump on, man, because I ain't got no pump. After 2 days, you ain't got no pump. You're a pump chaser, basically. You know what I'm saying? A pump chaser. You know, looking for that pump. You know what I'm saying? So I can feel big, like Hercules. You feel what I'm saying? Swollen. You know, like I said, man, never give up. You know, whatever you're doing, man. I mean, damn, just look at the success stories, man. How they struggled too, man. How Jean-Claude Van Damme struggled to get in Hollywood. How Keith Sweat struggled to make money in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? You know, how, what's his name? Tyler Perry struggled to get into show business too, man. Into the movies, into Hollywood. It's a struggle to get there. You just gotta like be patient and wait your turn. Feel what I'm saying? Cause ain't nothing gonna come easy, man. I look for like stuff that's not easy because I know that it's worth chasing. Feel what I'm saying? I know that it's worth chasing. I look for it to be hard and difficult. Feel what I'm saying? I'd be like, where the hard at? Well, no homo. I'm like, where the difficult at? You know, where is it? Huh? Where is it? You know, you feel what I'm saying? Because I see that other people overcame all obstacles and difficulty and stuff like that. And if they did it, I can do it too. You feel what I'm saying? I can overcome all odds too, man. Because best believe, bro, like there's resistance, man, when you're going after success, bro. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of resistance because they don't want you to be rich in this society. They want you to be a worker for the rest of your life. That's why it's so goddamn hard to get out of the matrix. Because they want you to be a worker, bro. They don't want you to own no business or nothing like that. There's another person that they gotta compete with. You feel what I'm saying? So they trap you here by raising the rent up, you know, store prices sky high. Nah, we want you to keep working. We don't want you to retire at an early age. We don't want you to be rich. We got enough rich people at the top. You see what I'm saying? Nah, bring the cost of living up. Keep those motherfucking tax dollars high too. So they'll never be millionaires. They'll never make it out of the matrix. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll quit. You know, they'll go after a dream and quit. You know what really made me quit though, man, when I was doing music? It was a cost of living was up. I couldn't afford a house on my own. I couldn't afford an apartment on my own where I could set up my music equipment and make songs and stuff like that. I couldn't afford nothing on my own, but I had to like move in with roommates. Like you're in a society where you can't even just work just one job and live on your own in your own apartment. It's supposed to be like, you know, the cost of living is supposed to be cheap or like not cheap but like affordable. That's what I'm trying to say. For everybody, where you can work one job full time and then have your own apartment. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to share no with no roommates or nothing. Because you know, if I decided I want to go back to the work world and they say, forget about chasing the bag, I'll just settle down with some average woman. You feel what I'm saying? And date her and stuff like that. I would have to move in with roommates at this point. You know, because I'll go back to doing armed security or whatever. You know, when the judge tell me, the judge told me I can't have any guns until September. So 1 year, no guns for me. That's what I went to jail behind. You know, my gun. I got in trouble. I got can't even talk. I got in trouble with it. You know what I'm saying? So this, let's say, you know, I say, fuck the bag, bro. I'm gonna go back to like living a regular life. Just have an average girl, settle down. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be, you know, having a bag and shit like that. So I would have to like move in with roommates at this point because of the cost of living is way like sky high, bro. I couldn't afford nothing on my own. You feel what I'm saying? It's like nowadays the upper middle class and the rich people are taking over. Like you have to have a career, right? to live comfortably. You can't just have a job. You can't just work at In-N-Out Burger for $15, $20 an hour and live comfortably. That's poverty. That's why they was going on strike just recently with the bus line, because the buses, the bus people, the bus drivers, they felt like they wasn't getting paid enough. Cost of living keep going up, but you're not bringing up the cost of the pay. See, that's why I say they try to keep you here in the matrix, bro. This shit is designed to keep you here, not to be free. See, that's why the cops be fucking with you and shit, man, because they see that you free, and you're not you're not working a whack ass job like they are, getting trapped up in the matrix. We gotta work out some more of this this Rockstar. We gotta start off with push-ups and stuff. Warm my body up with push-ups. You feel what I'm saying? So, they want to keep you here, trapped in this matrix, bro. They want to keep you a working slave in society. That's why they don't want to pay you anything, bro. Nah, we're not trying to pay you too much. No, we don't want you to own a business like us. No, we don't want you to own a house. We don't want you to come up. Well, we don't want you to come up. When we want you to stay down. Work until you're like 65, 66, work. And that's why they raised the retirement age up to 67 now? It was 64. Now, you get retirement benefits at 67. So, a lot of motherfuckers don't even get to live to be 67, okay? So it's a trap around here, bro. That's why you can't quit at whatever you do, bro. Can't quit. You can't live in poverty for the rest of your life. Your whole entire life you just been broke, dusty, frustrated. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want to live like that, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to live dusty, man. I don't want to live broke for the rest of my life. So whatever I'm doing, I'm going after it with a passion, because, I seen what happens to motherfuckers who quit, man. I seen what happens to motherfuckers who quit. Their life turned out to be shit. And that rhyme. You quit, your life turned out to be shit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, man, you gotta understand something. Life ain't no joke for men, man. Keep going. Don't stop. You're going after a goal, never stop. Keep on pushing. Day after day, year after year. The years going by, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna keep on going. I ain't gonna never quit. Been 5 years since I've been chasing my dream, and I don't plan on quitting, bro, because I've seen what happens when you do quit. It's just like you're just losing, bro. You're a fucking loser in females' eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? A regular job don't cut it no more, man. Maybe a career will. Of course, a career will. You making more money and stuff. But a regular job, just making $20 an hour, that's not going to cut it nowadays. I remember I used to work this security gig, man, back in 2012 or something like that, or 13. And, I used to work. What's up with it? Yeah, man. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I'll have this for my lunch. People come by and give you stuff. He gave me some eggs, spam, and rice. Yeah, that's gonna be a good lunch. I haven't ate yet. I'm fasting right now. I just got that pre-workout in me right now, and I'm working out. I've been dropping the weight and shit, and this time I'm keeping the weight off. I'm never gonna chunk up again, man. This time I'm for sure to stay working out my whole entire life until I die. Never giving up. Feel what I'm saying? Hey, motherfucker tell you, oh, you're just dreaming. You're not this and that. You're this, you're that. Nah, forget that, bro. Never listen to what anybody has to say, especially if they haven't achieved anything. You feel what I'm saying? Because the motherfucker who got accomplishments, they'll tell you to keep going. You feel what I'm saying? If a motherfucker tell you, oh, you're just daydreaming, or you're wishing, wishful thinking and shit like that, or you're in over your head. You're never gonna make it. You're never gonna, But then I turn around, I look at their life, and they ain't got no accomplishments. They still working a job making $200 a day, you know what I'm saying, somewhere 2 or 3 miles, or 3 miles, or 4 or 5, 10 miles, or how many miles they travel to get to work, away and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I look at their life and they tell me, oh, you need to quit, don't do that, you're never gonna win. I look at their life, I be like, I ain't gonna listen to you, look at your life. I don't have to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? If you talk to anybody who have created success, or obtained success in life, man, they'll tell you straight up not to quit. Michael Jordan would tell you not to quit. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Foxx would tell you not to quit. They'll tell you straight up. Keep going until you get your foot in the door in whatever industry that you're trying to get your foot in the door into. If you tell, savvy guy, hey man, start going out in the music industry, bro. You can be like a manager or something, or get involved with music. And I guarantee, like, if he did start, like, he would quit that same year probably, because nothing was turning out good, or nothing was going into his favor. He would quit. He'd be like, man, I ain't got no success yet. I've been going after this for about 6 months. Ain't nothing happened. I can't get my foot in the door. I might as well quit. Then you make things worse. You make things worse. You quitting, you make things worse. You go back to a regular job. Like, why did you quit, bro? You keep going. And then you really ain't gonna see no success if you quit. You're like, then you at least you had a chance. You're out there hustling, and you got some type of hope. You got a chance. You know what I'm saying? To make things happen, right? But if you quit, bro, it goes down to zero. A chance is better than no chance. You feel what I'm saying? Now you have zero chance of getting out of poverty because you quit. And now you're going to be stuck in poverty for the rest of your life, instead of maybe seeing some success in the future. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where I went wrong at. Quitting have you with regrets. Yep, exactly, bro. What's up with it, Sean? Never quit nothing, bro. Never quit nothing that you do, bro. You keep going. Look, I stayed with the Capoeira for 12 years, and I actually quit, and I'm going to tell you why. But I still train. I still train. I make it part of my workout. I'm about to do Capoeira right now after I get done doing sprints and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? But I quit capoeira because there was no fucking like reward for me getting my red belt. I stayed with the capoeira for 12 years, okay? And I looked at it, I was like, is it really worth it to stick around just for a red cord? Because that's the objective, is to receive your red cord in capoeira. It takes about 20 to 30 years to get the shit. Matter of fact, my friend just got his red cord, in capoeira, which is the last cord, right? He finally got his red cord after 30 years of training. 30 years. He finally had his, it wasn't too long ago, maybe like a year or two ago, he got his red cord. You know what I'm saying? Me, I got to a high cord, but I quit because I was just like, no, it's not worth it, bro. You can't really make any money doing capoeira. I'm talking about real money. Matter of fact, I think I stayed with capoeira way too long. I should have transitioned to boxing, after a year of doing it. I should have said, okay, I'm done with that. And then went to boxing and became something, a contender. Because I got heavy hands. I've been had heavy hands ever since I was a little kid. I was sleeping motherfuckers, bro. I had power in my hands. You know what I'm saying? Even like Freddie Roach, when I went to his class training, at the Wildcat, was a Wild Card? It was a Wildcat, a Wild Card gym, or whatever in LA. And I was hitting that bag. I was tearing it up like I was trying to tear the bag a new asshole. You know what I'm saying? And Freddie Roach, he came from behind the counter and he congratulated me on my power. He was like, man, hell yeah. He was like, yeah, you hitting that bag like you about to, like you stole something. And then the guy who was at the front desk, he walked up to me. He said, you know what you just did? You just made Freddie Roach just come up to you and give you some props. I was like, he's like, he don't really do that with fighters in there. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, he said, man, what's up with it, Petaway boy? He said, man, but I was already 35 years old, bro. I wasn't gonna try to fight. I'm already they should have caught me when I was like in my teens. I would have had a better chance of becoming a heavyweight champ. But I was so preoccupied with capoeira, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't explore any other my talents. I got heavy hands, bro. I knocked motherfuckers out. You feel what I'm saying? Even when I got into fights at school, man, I knocked motherfuckers out. Like I told you, that one guy that stepped up on me, and he kept pushing me and kept picking on me, man. I stood back and I hit that motherfucker so hard. Dude looked like Mike Tyson. He motherfucker was bigger and buffer than me too. And I hit that motherfucker hard, man. He went forward. You feel what I'm saying? He went down for the count, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And I could have been a contender, bro. I could have been a champion. You know what I'm saying? I could have been the next Mike Tyson and shit. But I quit because, my dad wasn't there. He did enroll me in boxing school when I was young, bro. But I was so young, bro, and I didn't have a father around. You feel what I'm saying? That I quit, and I regret quitting boxing. I should have kept going. This just like one of my subscribers just said, man. Quitting leaves a lot of regrets, man. And now I can't go back and become a heavyweight champion, bro. I'm already too old. I'm 45, so I'm choosing to chase my numbers instead. That's a lot easier, I should have became a fucking goddamn contender, but I didn't have a shit for a father, so my father wasn't there. So motherfucker didn't want to help me out. So goddamn, so goddamn selfish and shit, man. Just all about themselves. My parents, it was not all about us, bro. It was all about themselves. That's why when my sister tell me, mother loved us, no, she fucking didn't. Stop telling me that mother loved us. Because if she loved us, she would have been more involved in our lives when we were young. Shit, she never was involved in capoeira, bro. She only came to one performance, bro. She never cared about what I did. That's what I'm saying. When you got shit parents, you ain't gonna be shit, bro. At least I got involved in something, though. It wasn't nothing. I got involved. I wanted to pursue that. That was my passion. Capoeira was my passion. And I stuck with it for 12 years. But it was worth quitting because I'm not gonna dedicate myself to an art form where I can't make money off of it at the end, you know what I'm saying? Or just for a red cord, which is worthless. You feel what I'm saying? On the outside world, you feel what I'm saying? Maybe in a capoeira class you might be respected because you got the last chord, but it's just like on the outside world, it don't mean nothing. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how I looked at it, man. You feel what I'm saying? You know, and that's why you gotta understand that having a father, man, in your life, bro, you know, is crucial for a son, you know, or even a daughter. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see all the greats, man. They all had fathers in their lives, bro. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, they all had fathers, bro. You feel what I'm saying? They all had fathers. You know, your father should be in your life until at least you're 18, until you're grown. That way, okay, I raised him grown. But he could still come back, you know, spend the night or stay at my house if he fall on bad times. But I raised him. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I did my part. Or I raised her. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like when you ain't got a father, bro, it'll cause you to quit things, and nobody's there to like push you and tell you, man, don't quit. Don't quit, Sean. Don't quit, Kelcat. Keep going, bro. See, I look back in my life and I look at the things that I quit on. You know, I got regrets and I can't go back and change nothing. You feel what I'm saying? I could have been this, I could have been that. Man, I just quit a bunch of times and ended up pouring it in, man. You feel what I'm saying? I quit a bunch of times and I ended up pouring it in. And if I had never had quit, I wouldn't be in the situation right now. Like the boxing career I could have had when I was young, you know, I could have did it. I could have did it, and I didn't. Didn't have a father, didn't have a strong male presence, you know, in my household, bro. And when you don't have a father, most of the time, bro, you're gonna come out to be nothing. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't have a strong father, a father that will push you, and then that's involved in your life throughout the years, you ain't gonna be shit. That's why I'm late, and that's why you're late chasing your dreams. A lot of you guys didn't have fathers. You know, your father wasn't hard enough on you. You know, if you did have a father in your life, he wasn't hard enough on you. Because if you come out to be 35 and you ain't got shit, bro, that means you didn't have a father. Because you know what happens with women? Women quit. They quit when the going gets tough, bro. They don't teach you to keep going. That's why women make the worst parents, bro. They're not better parents than the father. That's why the system is always trying to hustle the father out of the household, man. Because they know the father don't play no games, man. You know, the father don't play no games. The father will put fire up on your ass. You know what I'm saying? The father will put fire up on your ass and make you do better and shit. Your father is more strict than your mother. You know, he'll be checking up on your grades. That's how my father used to do when I was like in elementary. He used to check up on my grades, see if I got G's and E's, man. And when my father was around, I had G's and E's and a few S's, which means satisfactory. You know, it's satisfied. You know, they're satisfied. Okay, satisfied with how you did. You know, it's not super great, but it's satisfied. You know, I had a few S's and everything's G's and E's, bro. Good and excellent, good and excellent, good and excellent. When my dad left the house, my grades went down the hill, bro. Because your mother she'll allow you to do anything. And women are fucking selfish creatures, bro. Very selfish. They don't want to get involved with your life, bro. They're supposed to be involved in your life. But the mother is not the best, the female is not the best parent. The father is. You know, the father is the best parent, bro. Don't forget about that. Cause he'll have you not quitting, man. When I was with my father, even though my father was overly abusive with the whoopings and stuff, but we was doing better. I was doing good in school. I was going to baseball practice. He was taking me to baseball practice. He was there, right? Applauding me, cheering me on in the crowd and stuff like that. I remember that. He was there for that. He was there to wake me up at 6 a.m. to like catch pop flies and grounders, line drives and all that other stuff. He was there, but at 10, he was gone. So anything I was doing, my mom she wasn't concerned about what I was doing. She was more concerned about getting her money, bro, from the welfare office, bro. You feel what I'm saying? You know. So if you don't have a father, man, you're pretty much screwed as a young kid, man. You ain't gonna grow up to be nothing. You're gonna be quitting everything that you do, just like a females. Females, they quit. Not all of them, but a lot of them are lazy and they quit, and they self-centered, bro. Women are self-centered. Most of them are. That's why, if a female is above your looks level, she'll keep walking past you. She don't acknowledge your existence. Don't say hi, nothing like that. Self-centered, bro. They got the world handed to them out here in America, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So you have a father, you got a father, most of the time you can come out to be great. You feel what I'm saying? That means you can't be going around cheating and shit like that. You got to work to keep the family together. Okay, that's what really breaks up families. It's infidelity and financial problems. You feel what I'm saying? What's up with it, man? Hey, I'm on the flow right now, man. What's up with it? I can't really pronounce your name though. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is never quit. You will regret it in the future, bro. When you're still struggling, when you're still patting your pockets down, looking for change, you seeing everybody around you driving muscle cars and exotic cars all around you, and you ain't got shit. You're gonna be like, God damn, what if I had never quit that cop or what? What would happen if I had never quit music or boxing? I would be somewhere right now. But we're late because we didn't have a father. My capoeira teacher, man, he wasn't the best dude to be around. He was low-key hating on me because I was attracting, the white girls and stuff, and he didn't like that. I could just tell. Now that I gotten older, I understand his mindset. He was an older guy, doing capoeira, trying to get women, especially white women. He was all into them, but he didn't want me to get done, You feel what I'm saying? I could tell he was low-key hating on me. So he wasn't the best, mentor to be around. Yeah, he kept me away from trouble, but it came at a cost. He wasn't checking up on my grades and shit either, bro. You feel what I'm saying? He wasn't saying all he did was want me to come to capoeira class. That was it. That's his concern was stay here, get here early. If you ain't here early, you got to do 100 push-ups. That's all he cared about. Now that was a certain type of discipline that I learned, but later down the stretch, I got undisciplined. You feel what I'm saying? Now we can't let this dream go. We got to keep going no matter what. You keep going no matter what goes down, bro. Keep pushing forward. Do not quit. And you later in life you will thank me, cause you be done got to your goal. You be like, well, you know what? Kelcat was right, bro. I'm glad I listened to him. I'm buying my first car. I'm buying my first house or condo. I'm going on vacation. I'm living good. Kelcat was right. Never quit. Telling you, bro, you'll thank me later in life. Like you'll be like, man, Kelcat, let me send you some money or something. I'll be like, I'm all right, bro. I'm good, man. I got my bag already. You keep your money, bro. Man, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. You changed my life, bro. I'm living good right now, eating lobster, steak, and shrimp. Crab. Lobster tail. I got girls in my life. I got women in my life, more women than before. I'm glad I'm listening to Kelcat. Yeah, Kelcat knows best because I've been there and I learned from that mistake of quitting. And you got regrets. Just like one of my subscribers said, man, a lot of regrets. Like, God damn it, I could have kept going. I could have been somebody. Now I can't go back and turn the hands of time around and get my youth back. It's gone. Once yesterday is gone, it's gone. It ain't never coming back. Just remember to keep going no matter what. Don't quit. Stay the same. 5 years go by, it don't matter, bro. 10 years go by, no, I keep pushing. I keep chasing until I get it. Then I'll thank my future self would thank me later. You feel what I'm saying? But I gotta go. You guys have a good night, man. Stay up. Stay real. You feel what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all on the next one. You guys have a good day. I gotta work out. I would talk to you all day long about this, but I gotta go. I got some things to do, like work out. Peace. I'm out, man.